Hello and welcome to another tutorial video. Let's go into the encounter and try some spell casting so you guys can learn how we assemble the spells and cast them. In this case I'm going to attack a couple of guardians. Nothing too huge, but something to show you how the tokens combine. So from looking at the page here, I can see that this guy needs 1 damage, 2 fires or 2 frosts, and he needs the same thing, except that his actions are protecting everyone and his actions are attacking everyone. So let's see, how can I give him 2 fires? Here's my mages, and every mage has their own deck. So let me open the decks. The decks are different, so you can see that, for example, here's 4 green elements, and here's 3, and here's 5, but more or less they're balanced, so you wouldn't run into the decks that miss some element altogether. No, it's different combinations. And the number of elements is also different. So this is the hand that the mage currently has in front of them. And I want to begin by choosing a spell. The spell books are different. So every mage has a different spell book in the sense of progression. You can upgrade them to have all of the spells, and it'll be the same spells for everyone, but you have to work on this. So here, she knows fire level 1 and fire level 3. And she knows only fire level 1, but she knows damage level 3. And she knows only first level of fire and first level of damage, but she knows the 3rd level of frost. So they have all start with the different spells, and then you can unlock more, but we'll get to that later. So first of all, let's say that I am determined to burn that guy. And how do I do it? First I can go from choosing the spell and then assembling it. So I have fire here, I click on the elements, I click on the formula, the element is moved, 1 action is spent. Every mage has 4 actions. The first is free, generally. I mean, you'll see some effect from personal traits. And then it costs me 1 fatigue, 2 fatigue, and 3 fatigue. Fatigue fills the endurance bar. Once it's full, you get damaged. So it's okay to take some fatigue because there are for example, alchemic substances that remove fatigue, like this one, takes away 3 fatigue. There's also 1 fatigue a day goes out as they sleep and they restore their forces. So don't be afraid of using fatigue, just don't overdo it. Don't overdo it, don't damage yourself. So here what I want to show is that this is going from what I want. You can also go from what I can. And in this case, you can see that there is a miasm. And then we go to acid, and we can see that there is this acid spell. And actually, I have already this, and I have this. And all I need is just 1 extra green to be good. How do I find it? I discard my hand. So I'm looking at those 3, and I'm like, I don't need any of this. So I push discard. That's another action. And I got my green, the one I wanted. Now, what's going to happen is this spell is ready. I can cast it. And in the spell book, you can see the indication that this is the main target, this is the target on the right, the main target on the left, on the right, the main target, and so on. So here, I am giving my main target 2 acids and 1 acid to the side. So click on the spell, click on the target, give them some acid. The reason I gave acid was to show you that tokens combine. You can tooltip, you can hover over pretty much every token and read the descriptions. You can also go to encyclopedia and read that there. What's going to happen now is as I send fire into acid, fire will light up the acid, convert it into fire, and this guy will burn down because he needs 2 fires. For that, I need to complete this spell. So let's see what kind of chances I have, like 3 fire here. Okay, let's roll. Yes, I got some fire incoming. This spell is now complete. And I'm going to give him 1 fire. And that fire plus acid will create another fire. So let's see. That's it. 1 fire from the spell, and 1 fire because the acid has converted. And now here I can do the same thing. Acid also converts into damage, so maybe at the next round I can use that. I end my turn, and now it's the turn of the opponent. You can see that he is assembling a multi-turn attack, so next turn he will do it, and the action that he is using is giving himself a protection and a protection to another creature on the right side. So how do I deal with this? I can either deal damage or I can either deal fire, and in this case I'm going from what do I have? What do I have? I don't see any fire here, just one, and that's it. But I think I see what I need for damage. So let's go here. Yes, you can see that this one is what I need, and this one is what I need, and I just need one extra blow. To move the elements between the hands is free. It doesn't cost you any action. You can just move them at any time. So what you have to realize is, like, strategically you work from what I want and what can I do right now, and then it costs you an action to move an element from the hand area into the spell area. But once it's there in the spell area, you can move it around and there's no problem. So let's try to find another blue that I need here, and that should be good enough. No luck, which is why very often you want to go from what do I have and not what do I want. So they all seem to have just a few of the blues that I need, but let me keep rolling. As long as I'm not exceeding the endurance, it's okay. And the same thing here. Yes, I've got my blue. So now my spell is complete, and I'm gonna deal damage, and that damage will also convert the acid, but it doesn't even have to, because that guy is dead after just one damage. No loot from these guys. These guys are pretty useless in terms of loot, but let me show you some of the other creatures and talk to you about how do we... it's time to eat some food. I'm gonna eat this. And let's also talk about how do we unlock new spells. So someone is gonna spawn here, because it's the season, it's the Phantom Moon season. So let's see. I'm going to attack these guys. We're in the wetlands. Here in the wetlands, fire spells don't really work. And I got a couple of Giggler Offsprings. I don't know what the outcome of this is, but I know that I can deal with them by giving them 2 fear, 2 fires, or 1 damage. And they are giving themselves as their own actions lots of damage and some power tokens. So maybe it's time to upgrade my spellbook. Let's go into the spellbook, and here to upgrade I need to go to the Cosmic Knowledge area. So that's all the spells I can unlock and discover, and I'm spending the essences which I win during encounters. I'm looking for Fear, and I'd like to unlock this spell, which will cost me 5 essences. And now I have it. That is the spell that I need. It gives 3 fear to the main target and then 2 left to right. And since each of them needs just 2, it'll be enough for me. And look, I have already all the elements I need. That was the reason I went for it, is that I can see that pretty much all the elements I need are here. So again, to avoid frustration, you have to remember that it's any card game. Either you go from what do you want, if you really want that, or if you're in a narrow situation where only this works. But rather than that, try to be creative and try to go from what can I do. Like in this case, for example, I can scare them away, I can burn them, I can kill them. Really, like at this time, it doesn't really matter. I just want to deal with them, and so I have this fear spell that is very easy to cast. One other thing probably is combinations, but combinations be too complicated. So you see, I scared them and I got 2 essences back. So I've spent 5 to unlock a spell and got 2 back immediately within the same encounter, which is pretty cool. And there's, oh my god, there's like six of them right here. So I'm not gonna finish that encounter, just to illustrate to you. There's 3 opponents here. There's 3 more waiting to join. It's a Giggler, a Shadow, another Spitter. And unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, these guys, they attack with fire, right? But, well, there's also this attack with damage, which is not very common. Good luck to them, because there is a wet environment, which means that all the fire will be negated. But I want to show you is that you can also use alchemy. And there's a number of bombs here that I can use. I'm going to use that bomb, which deals damage to all the opponents. Or I can use this one, which deals frost. Let's see. Yeah, they will run away from 2 frost, I think, or they will be destroyed. So let me deal this. Every opponent in front of me gets 2 frost. Let's see. Yep, destroying them and getting the essences. Different outcomes produce different results. So if I want to capture them, then I'll need to use Dispel. Here's a Shadow that runs away from Flesh. Or I think it's destroyed from flash. It gets retreated from fire, and to capture it I can use Dispel. So in this case, as always, I'm gonna go from what can I do right now. Here's a Dispel, but I don't have those elements. I'm not gonna go for it. Here is fire, but again, I don't really like. Well, I have a couple of fires here, but not much here. And that leaves me with flesh. So very quickly and very easily, I got everything I need. And I'm going to destroy it now. Ba-bam! Yep. And with this guy, either 2 fire or 1 damage. I don't really think I have. Well, 2 fear. Well, let's see. This guy, he will be destroyed by 1 damage as well. And 2 frosts. Well. What would you do? Well, I would do a frost spell, but I would try to do maybe. No, yeah, I mean, frost spell is okay. Yeah. So let's do it like that, and cast it on this guy. And I need another frost right here. Gonna pick up some fatigue, but it's okay. I mean, first I have the alchemy to take care of that, and then I will restore it every day. So that guy's done. And that leaves me only the Giggler Offspring. Fire, but 2. I don't really have it. Fear, 2 of those, or 1 damage. And now I have this green element here, which makes me think that I will go for damage. I mean, I will try to go for damage. All I miss is this blue element here. And I still miss it. Yep. Okay. So I think I took too much fatigue. So when you exceed your endurance with fatigue, you get 3 damage tokens. Now I'll need to cure that later on. But for the moment, I dealt with this Giggler and got everything that I need. So that's all the essences I earned here. No loot, and these guys got scared away and ran away. So this is how you spellcast. You can also check the spellbook of each character from their character profile, and you can go to Cosmic Knowledge and upgrade whenever you have essences to spend. So at some point, I guess, you will open all of those, and then when you build the Spire, you can also go to the combination spells and take a look at those. At the moment I don't have any, but in some spells you can see, for example, this spell is used in combination and this spell is used in combination, meaning that you can combine Fear level 1 with Dispel level 1 to produce the blinding spell. So combination spells are spells that are special, that allow you to circumvent the system, and for that you'll need to open Scriptorium at the Spire. That's it for this video. I hope you now know how to spellcast, and in the next video I'm gonna talk about characters, traits, changing the visuals, concocting, cooking, and all the other stuff. See you later.